Unfortunately, cancer has attacked twice in my life. 8 years ago, at a very joyous time, I married my significant other, my partner, after 23 years of being together. A month after we were married, he was diagnosed with inoperable liver cancer. And unfortunately, there's no cure for inoperable liver cancer. So we faced it. And then very ironically, he was lucky because he was able to have a year. Most of this type of cancer patients, by the time they are diagnosed, only have 3 months. So of course we didn't know it, so we took every day as it came. Rounds of chemo, rounds of radiation, unfortunately, multiple hospitalizations because of nosebleeds, because of other things that were going on in his body due to the cancer. And we faced it together, and we faced it going forward. So he was diagnosed in September. The following September, he said to me, "I am tired." And I knew at that point that he was tired and he couldn't go on. And I talked and we talked and we said, "You fought as much as you could. You fought very hard." And then he also said to me, "You did not sign up for this. You were not supposed to have to do this. You were not supposed to have to clean up after me and take care of a lot of things." And I said, "Well, were you going to abandon me if I got sick?" And he said, "Of course not." And so that put that to rest. Unfortunately, he lost his battle the following month in October. But he was able to have all his last Christmases, his last holidays, a last vacation. So in a way, and this is going to sound very ironic, he was lucky because he was able to have that. So many people don't. And he was able to celebrate his life until the end, which was very important. And at the end, he was tired. There was no more fight. When they said to us, "We can't do any more chemo," we knew that it was over. And he died at 4 o'clock in the morning at home in my arms, and that was where he wanted to be, and that was how we wanted his life to end. And that's it. Even though it was such a difficult disease, and even though it was so hard to do this and go through this, it was very joyous because he was able to do things all the way through his treatments. Even with all the different hospitalizations he had over the summer, his last summer, he had multiples because of different things that happened. He was still very positive, and we were still able to fight this and do this together. And I knew, and everyone else knew, that he did, and it was the most that he could do. Unfortunately, the second thing that happened was last November. I started having some pains in my lower back, and we didn't know what it was, and went to emergency room, and they were like, "Well, we don't know what the pain is," but they did a CT scan, and they said, "We don't like the look of the mass that's on your left kidney. So what do? You go forward. This is now what life has put in front of you, so you have to deal with it." So in January, my left kidney was removed. On biopsying it, it was stage 1 kidney cancer. It was capsulated, so it was not metastasized, so the cancer was completely removed. I had my 6-month checkup, and that has come out clean. So the cancer is gone at this point, knock on wood somewhere. To a certain degree, though, I cannot get my mind around that I am a cancer survivor. And there's also survivor guilt. Because why did I live? And why did my Joe pass away? And why have other people passed away? And of course, you can't question, I have my own belief system, and I believe in a higher power, in God, and obviously there's a reason for it, but it's still, you thinking about it, and if I dwell on it, it's very oppressing. But you have to keep facing every day, and you have to keep moving forward. As I always say, forward just keeps changing. I actually lived in the East Coast. I was not supposed to be living in California. I love living in California. So every forward changed, and that's what's going to happen. That's what happens with your health. If you have your health, that's wonderful. But you also can survive, and you do survive. And I think that's the other thing about cancer, and the other thing about so many people's stories, that they are able to survive and grow and live. And talking to a couple other people, you found out who your real friends were. You found out who your real family, whether it was blood or not, were. And it's just a very moving, it turns out to be a very moving experience. And yes, you can dwell on being bitter about it, but you really have to keep going and be positive and think what happened, and it happened for a reason. One of the things that helps you to move forward, and I think is a positive thing, is being able to do something, is some kind of action. So the walk on El Paseo is a very positive, it's also a celebration of life. It's a celebration of people who have cancer. It helps raise funding towards fighting the disease, and it helps also helps raise awareness, and people don't think about it. And people, people don't know who and who isn't a cancer survivor, or what people are struggling with. But I think going to the walk, I think participating in the walk, even if you can't participate, but donating to the walk, you're doing something. You're doing something positive. You're interacting with other people. You're just, it's again moving forward. It's moving to a better place, and it's hopefully helping other people also move to a better place.